All right, moving forward now. Like a hydra-headed monster, crude oil thefts has become endemic in Nigeria, such that more suspects are arrested, the more others go into the crime. A private security firm, Tantita Security Services Limited, announced it arrested an ocean-going vessel that is conveying thousands of metric tons of stolen crude oil in Bayelsa states. The vessel, named MT Kally, was set to be arrested in a joint operation by the officials of the firm owned by Government Ekpemupolo, popularly called Tompolo, and operatives of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC. Yet again, these people into this business, they are not just ordinary Nigerians. Yeah. They are collaborating with NNPC, collaborating with our military, collaborating with an AV, because for you to, get, a ship containing crude oil out of the country, we know what it takes. It's not something that is easy at all.
It takes a lot. It's an international network of criminals that is not restricted to Nigerians alone. Nigeria is just the base where they get the oil. The network extends to as far back as South America, Asia, Africa. It's a huge network, and there are people who are billionaires who are making their money daily for years. Nigeria is one of the focal points because of the country is vulnerable. They know that it's weak in terms of security. So I think Nigeria should be rated as one of #1 in terms of oil theft. Even this has been admitted by Nigerian authorities. The National Security Advisor, Malam Nurubadu, said Nigeria loses some 400,000 barrels of oil per day. And NIT also said that for 11 years, we lost about 620 million barrels, which is worth $46 billion. You know what
that are these people?
So these people that are doing this is a network of local people, of people in the Navy, people in the Army, politicians. An ordinary man cannot set up bunkering. You need badges, you need a ship, you need the buyer, the people that will pay in dollars, So, and why this is, it's not just about the financial loss. It also has a lot of impact on the environment of these communities. We were there last year, went through the Greek area, and we saw the devastation.
Yes, I was part of that journey.
We were there for about 8 hours on the sea. And so the destruction of the forest, pollution, something that will have long term, the next 100 years. People, genetic changes will even occur because of this destruction of the environment. So it's something that Nigeria must stand its feet to put an end to it. And since we have decided to employ Tompolo and the other people, well, the truth of the matter is that we have now learned that for security to be effective, there is need for inclusion of local communities.
Yeah, to involve
they understand the demography,
yes.
they understand the geography, they understand the sociology, the spirituality of the environment.
Even it's a big economy.
It's a big economy.
For you to involve the indigenes in policing that, because we saw the number of youths that were employed.
Yes, that were employed.
In each of
those communities. So if you want to run a thing where you think you can just bring from anywhere, from Lagos, from Sokoto, to come and police.
No, you have a big problem.
They will sabotage, such a mechanism. So, and that's why we have seen some level of effectiveness, in terms of what Tompolo is doing. And I believe that local communities are in the best position to know what's actually going on. This is a huge network. Remember that in Delta State, they built 4 kilometers, of pipelines that nobody ever saw for years. It was there to ferry crude oil to, in batches to the IC. And this thing was there for a very long time. Even recently, NNPC discovered 54 illegal refineries. There was even an incident that there was a fire, and 100 people died in that incident involving an illegal refinery. So it's a bad thing that we need to put a stop to.
When you hear stories like this, some people would describe Nigeria as a huge joke.
No, a big crime scene, not just a huge joke. A big crime scene. If people are not organizing, around crude theft, what else are they doing? They're engaged in land grabbing by chasing whole communities out, decimating whole communities, to grab their land, or engaging in, sponsoring kidnapping, sponsoring terrorism. It is a war that some people, highly placed, are waging against the Federal Republic of Nigeria at different levels in different sectors. And the government continues to devote huge resources to fighting these people. And it cannot relent. It cannot relent. But the point is that something has to give. Because if we can lose such amounts of money every year, such huge quantities of crude every year, I think the government may at a point need to really go headlong against these elements. But the unfortunate thing is that you find out that the people who are supposed to wage a war against those doing this are actually the ones perpetrating this heinous crime. So what do? Now the war has been outsourced to Tompolo, through his Tantita Security Services. Well, he's a very courageous person to be able to take on all these highly placed, well-connected people. Because look at the vessel was hired all the way from Lagos, empty. It sailed empty. You can imagine how much was paid to hire a vessel all the way from Lagos, sailed empty to Bayelsa, and then was loading. And the operators of the ship were told that don't worry, that all the security officials along the route had been compromised. They had been taken care of. So nothing will happen. And truly, nothing happened. All the way from Lagos to Bayelsa, nothing happened. When did something happen? When Tantita came onto the scene. That was when something happened. So if Tantita wasn't there, they would just simply have loaded this vessel and gone away. So it tells us a lot about how porous our security network is. With something must be done. Those in security services should be imbued with more patriotism, because they occupy very sensitive offices, and they are the ones that protect the nation. If they are not sufficiently, if they don't have that sufficient zeal to continue to protect the nation in different sectors, then we're in trouble. We're in the soup. So this matter must be dealt with. Okay, look at the names of all the operators were listed, but the owner of the vessel, the person who hired the vessel, was not listed. Why? They should be exposed. All these people should be exposed so that we know where to start dealing with the problem. You can't just be hiding whose name was not revealed. What is the meaning of that? And you want us to believe you. You must reveal their names. Let's even know those economic saboteurs, those working so hard to bring this country down.
A lot of people say government require the political will to unmask these people. Because if you're a president and your chief of naval staff, just for example, or a chief of army staff, for example, is involved in this thing, it will be difficult. Because those are the people down on the operations. I'm not saying this is the situation, but I'm just saying in a situation whereby the GOC in that place has been compromised, the FOC in that place has been compromised, that it's very difficult to, to actually, carry out this house cleansing.
When they carry out this crime, the whole 200 million people in Nigeria suffer. In 2011, we had about 2.5 million barrels of oil per day. In 2022, it dropped to about 1 million. Now we are facilitating between 1 million, 1.something million. The rest goes to private individuals. The question you should ask yourself is that if you have an effective chief of army staff, an effective chief of naval staff, why did you need to sublet this security to Tompolo, to private individuals? So the idea of Tompolo coming in is because Nigerian legitimate institutions have failed to perform. They have failed to live up to public expectation. So if the army, the navy, with all the training, the DSS, they could not arrest these people, it means they have been compromised. And that's why you now have to go and, get Tompolo to come and police this country.
We have a phone call. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. My name is Suleiman. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, Liman, go ahead, please.
Thank you. I must sincerely commend your effort and all the good work you have been doing. What of Babajide Kolade?
Babajide is somewhere in Abuja. We'll join us sometimes this week.
So let me quickly comment on the issue to bring under discussion in your studio. The issue of oil theft in Nigeria is a very serious problem, together with illegal mining, which has escalated the insecurity across the country. I think recently the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff, came out to tell the world that the people that are in, and the Minister of Solid Mineral, Mr. Alake, something like that, came out to tell the whole world that the people that are responsible for all this thing are highly placed people. But the question that we keep on asking as ordinary Nigerians are, who are these highly connected people that cannot be brought to book? Are they more than the government? What are we talking about? The insecurity is escalated every day, and we keep on saying the people that are responsible for all these things are highly placed people. Are they untouchable? Are they more than the government? Because when we were in secondary school, we were taught, because I studied government, that government has power to deal with anybody that does not allow peace in a state to reign. And government is in place to solve problems. Is government there to be giving us excuses? Honestly, I don't understand. Yesterday in Abuja, unfortunately, the family of 6 people that were kidnapped, one of them was killed. A lot of people are going through so many dangerous things in the hands of these bad people, and the government cannot do anything. Honestly, the government should just wake up and do something tangibly to bring these people to order. Thank you.
Yeah, we can't have this.
In fact, even I thought he would add illegal logging. The destruction of our forests is going on at a horrendous level. I hope somebody will do a documentary on it. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
That is causing us problem now. Look at the environment.
What climate change will do to us in years to come.
Look at now.
Because of this illegal logging.
Do you think it's normal for January to be as hot as this?
Hot, very hot. Very hot. I mean, it is a sustained war by Nigerians and foreigners just to destroy this country. I don't know why. In different areas, I just don't know why people will hate one nation so badly, so much that all they just want to do is to tear the nation from any corner, just grab your own, destroy, and just keep the nation there. But you see, these highly placed people, the president suspended a minister for ordering that money should be moved from government coffers to a private account. So who are these highly placed Nigerians that cannot be unmasked, that cannot be brought to book? If the president can do that to a minister, then I think there's no other highly placed Nigerian that should be above the law. I mean, because if for instance the president comes out against some of these people, let's say 5 of them, it will boost his public image. People will say, yes, he's really fighting corruption, he's really dealing with these people. So the holiday should be over by now. These people should be dealt with ruthlessly. Otherwise, the future of millions of Nigerian youths, of Nigerian children, youth, even generations unborn, what does the future hold for them? We must say no to this impunity.
We are told that the military, the military, the Air Force, they go around even looking for these illegal refineries. The more they destroy these illegal refineries, the more people, there must be something so lucrative about this illegal refineries they are setting up. It's all over the Niger Delta.
It simply shows the selective nature of the destruction. Because if you destroy these refineries and then you arrest people that are involved, and then you take them to court, probably you jail them, others will run away from it. But it's like there are some people who are lesser gods. They arrest them and then just to give an illusion that they are working. But the big time dealers who probably are also big funders of the political parties, when they are doing election, they give them a lot of money, they allow them to go. So the question we should ask ourselves is that now Tompolo is performing effectively. Are we going to, is he a temporary measure or is going to be permanent? Are we now going to say that, okay, Nigerian Navy cannot develop itself to an extent that can protect the country from oil theft. You know, our Nigerian army cannot be so strong enough that we have to depend on private individuals who are even less skilled, you know, less trained than people who have gone to Santos, have gone to universities all over the world. Because the danger is that when ships can come in from anywhere to the country and go out, there is a lot of security implications. They can bring in arms, and nobody will discover it. We are talking of
oil. They can even bring in mercenaries.
If anything can be brought into Nigeria without anybody knowing, they can bring in mercenaries. You just wake up one day and see that the whole country is in flames, and it's a very fragile country, you know. So we need to take decisive action so that the army, the navy should be made to perform their professional roles, instead of each time you go and look for private individuals to handle your work for you.
All right, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still journalist.